Good morning again, folks. Welcome to another episode of Spill Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels, and this is my second to last. We're going back to that horrible world known as the JRC, but before we do the disclaimers, right? Okay, so in the description box, you're going to find a link to the article that the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center doesn't want you to read. Yeah, about those experts, doctor, right? It is written by NeuroClastic, oh my god, I can't even think. I've dealt with too much stupid today. A small non-for-profit started by Autistics for Autistics, wherein they interviewed and surveyed over 900 ABA professionals in regards to the JRC's quote-unquote behavioral modification program. Matter of fact, JRC doesn't want you to read this article so much they have threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit if they did not remove it from the website. NeuroClastic has refused, so you know the drill, folks. Please read that article and share on all your social media. We also have the public statement regards to the defamation lawsuit threat from NeuroClastic and a link to their GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding in case these bastards actually have the balls to see through with their threat. We got the pertinent links to the Agape boarding school situation as well. Agape boarding school is a Christian-themed boarding school based out of Stockton, Missouri that takes in so-called troubled male teens that has impending, folks, over not 900, over 21 allegations, claims, and civil lawsuits leveled against it, all which have been substantiated by the Missouri Department of Social Services, including sodomy, rape, sexual assault, child abuse, psychological and emotional abuse, child trafficking and starvation, and that's just for starters. We have had one staff member arrested by the FBI, another, a former doctor, still on the premises with full access on the kids, facing down jail time, I might add, after claims have been substantiated again by the Missouri Department of Social Services on claims of sexual assault, sodomy, rape. Yeah, still there. Full access to the kids. We have an attorney general who refuses to do his job even in the last few days he does them, and a general who's pepped up on a power trip from hell. So please read all those articles, share them on all your social media. Don't forget to share and sign the change.org Shut Agape Boarding School Down petition. God. Well, considering how both schools act, is it surprised that I get them mixed up in my head sometimes? They're the fucking same after all, right? Speaking of which, we also have the pertinent links to the Stop the Shocks campaign, including Autistic Hoya's massive archive on the subject, the templates, and the ever-present self-explanatory. Bit of bread. Shut the Judge Rotenberg Center down petition. When we discuss the JRC, folks, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of, peoples with disabilities being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please use your headphones, alright? Now, this channel is marked not for children for a reason. We use profanity and talk about dark subjects. If your child is 16 and younger, please, parental supervision should go without saying. Trigger warning, we are about to descend into the mad ravings of a lunatic mind known as Dr. Matthew Israel. You're going to hear victim blaming, gaslighting, appeals to authority, out and out, well-proven lies, and abuse apologencia galore. So be prepared for that, all right? So, where we left off. Later, this document will respond to the information on the MDRI report that is false and or misleading and will explain not only why adversives are not a form of torture, but also why persons with developmental and psychiatric challenges have a right to option to choose aversive therapy to cure or emulate their behavior problems. Lie. My God, who are you fooling? Who are you fooling, doctor? I'm going to explain this for the umpteenth time. Let's see here. What is false, doctor? Are 6 people dead at your hands or not? Because they are, folks. Did you shock Andre McCollums into catatony or not? Because you did, doctor. Did you or did you not cause second-degree burns to 2 students after waking them up in the middle of the night and shocking them over 71 times because your staff is taught to never question the person doing the orders over the phone? See, these are not lies, doctor, nor are they false or misleading. They come from actual legal documents, DESI reports, survivor accounts. You would like to believe that they're lies. You want to tell everyone we're misleading everyone, but the only one misleading the public, doctor, is you. And I believe this year, when you came up with this bullshit, is the same year that you ordered your staff to destroy evidence. So if it's no lie, we don't know what we're talking about. If we're so misguided, why did you destroy it? Shouldn't you be proud of your work? If it's so wildly successful and life-saving, wouldn't you want to platform that for the world to see the amazing mind of Dr. Matthew Israel? No, because you know it's bullshit. You know what this is, doctor, or you would never have tried to hide it. But he doesn't want you to think about that. As far as us choosing this, are you on crack? Because that must be some good shit. Let me tell you the truth about this place, folks. These kids don't get a choice. You want to know who decides? The parents decide, or the court-appointed guardian decides. If the parents revolt, these bastards will try and get these kids yanked and put under a court-appointed guardian. That court-appointed guardian is under the same court that the Judge Rotenberg has had under their thumb for over 30 fucking years. These kids are not choosing this. The people in charge of these kids who buy into this bullshit are making the decisions for them. That is a lie, doctor. There's not a single rational, logical fucking human being on this planet who chooses to be tortured. Nobody chooses to go what you put Andre McCollins through. No rational person would choose to go under 80,000 adversive therapies while they are suffering and dying in your care. Doctor. No one chooses this shit. It is chosen for them by people who have power over them. And by the way, no, I do not buy this shit that the parents and your fucking insane doctors know best. Doctors have gotten away with atrocities, sir. Would you like me to drag out medical history? Because I'm a student of history, and I'm more than happy to come dragging out the receipts. Or maybe we should just talk about your mentor, Dr. Mengele. Fuck me. Before doing so, however, it is important to do what anti-aversive advocates as well as MDR authors are so reluctant to do, to examine the alternatives, i.e. examine what practices are followed when aversives are not available. That's the thing, doctor, you don't even know what they are. Are you really going to give us your obscure, biased view of programs you do not understand, comprehend, or are able to utilize? You call person-centered planning a theory in 2010. In fucking 2010. By that time, I had it implemented throughout the entirety of my state, and it was already producing results. You don't think there's data? Tell that to my poor fucking work desk back in that year. Because I was buried in stacks of data, statistics, and reports. It took me months to go through that shit, folks. Months. Literal months. Excuse me if I don't want to take this deranged doctor's word for it when he talks about alternative treatments. He wants to invite you to a rational conversation, but he doesn't actually want to participate. He wants you to believe that the only people against him are advocates, and that people and the media are just doing this false narrative to attack the poor JRC, but doctors have come out against this. Psychiatrists, psychologists, neurologists. People who specialize, doctor. People who specialize. ARC has come up against this. ARC is the largest provider. The fucking largest provider, bar none, in the entirety of the United States when it comes to providing services for people with developmental disabilities. They've come against this. To sit there and say with your whole chest that you do the largest amount of people like this is an out and out lie that the ARC called you on and you've never answered. Never answered. So let's talk about this shit here before we delve into their insanity, shall we? He wants to tell us why we can't believe our own eyes. We have to distrust him, bruh. He's going to use appeals to authority to do, though, which fall false when you have multiple doctors adamantly coming against this insane shit, including people who serve in ABA. This is right here is why the JRC would see someone like NeuroClastic and their report to be such a threat, because they rely very heavily on appeals to authority. When a autistic-led group then goes out of their way and creates a massive survey that reaches out specifically, even to an industry we hate, but actually reaches out to them and speaks to the professionals in the field, not just in the United States, but all across the world, and they put out the report that they did, why do you think they're trying to shut them up? They want you to believe that it's just us and that we don't know what we're talking about. They do not want to be confronted by the doctors, the psychiatrists, the psychologists, the ABA professionals in the exact same field. They don't want to be confronted with the fact that these people adamantly are against this insane bullshit. So they're going to threaten a small organization that rarely brings in $10,000 a year, but they did not know exactly who they were fucking with. Most people who try to fuck with the autistic community don't until it's too late. NeuroClastic is going to fight them until hell freezes over. So will the rest of us, including the largest provider of services for people with developmental disabilities in the United States, and the largest provider of mental health services in the United States. And if anyone wants to question me on this, I will pull up their letters condemning this place to hell. We'll close out on that. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few that we do get do tend to get removed from time to time. So please don't forget to hit that like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time. And as always, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.